The following is a live special presentation of the Nomar Garcia Parra Broadcasting System. Parental guidance suggested. Home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. David, how are you? I'm gonna hope you have a great day as well. Good morning. Put the stick down, Ron. Afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 18th day of September. We're with you tomorrow, too, for not sure what. But today we are doing a requested baseball game for the pesky poll. Mr. Dobreski, Mr. Replay Baseball himself. How about that? He wanted to see, and I misread it before I set this up, Nomar Garcia Parra on the 75 Red Sox. Poor Rick Burleson. What did Rick Burleson ever do to you to get replaced? I decided to play the 99 Red Sox against the 75 Cincinnati Reds, the big red machine. And when I was putting the lineups together for this, obviously the 75 Reds are one of the greatest teams of all time. I still contend the 76 Reds are better, but the 75 Reds are pretty good within the context of their own season. We'll get into that as we go along. It'll be Gary Nolan going for the Reds on a rainy day in Boston, while Pedro Martinez goes for the Red Sox. Good luck, Cincinnati. Lots of Hall of Famers in this one. On paper, the Reds have the better offense, but the Red Sox have the better pitching. So if the Reds can hang around until they can Pedro Martinez tires, then they have a shot. When we did this before, we did it in a 70s tournament, and the person that paid for it, Dave Little, wanted the 75 Reds to face the 73 Mets, which again on paper should have been a huge mismatch. Until you realize that in a one and done, the Mets went with Tom Seaver, who outpitched Gary Nolan. So that's a setup for you. So Request Baseball Plus, at the mid-game break, we'll reveal the brackets for our greatest hits tournament. I rolled all that. I'll show you how we did it. Should be interesting. The Red Sox and the Reds. Next. As Retro Sports Network presents a Major League Baseball special from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. How you doing, Scotty? It is the 99 Boston Red Sox against the 75 Cincinnati Reds. And today's special is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so it will be Pedro Martinez versus Gary Nolan. Both pitchers can go about 125 pitches. It is a rainy afternoon at Fenway Park. And this is a gorgeous shot of the stadium, pretty much as it looks today. Pedro, in his second year in Boston, went 23-4 with a 2.07 ERA. He started 29 times. He finished 5. 28 years old. He throws that cutter at 96 and a ground ball pitcher. How you doing, Greg? Ohio in the house. How you doing, Steve? Pedro, 213 in the third innings. It's not even his best year. That would be 2000. 160 hits, 56 runs, 49 earned. He walked 37 and struck out 313. I'm doing quite well, JT. How about you? You got a whip of 923. That's pretty good. The lineup Cincinnati will throw out there is pretty gosh darn good, too. Joe Morgan leads off at second. Pete Rose will bat second and play third. You can make the argument either way, but really Morgan is a better leadoff chance. Did Rose not steal a bag? Wow. Johnny Bench goes third. He'll catch. Tony Perez cleans up at first. George Foster and left will bat fifth. Here's the weird thing. Nomar Garcia Parra leads both teams with 28 home runs. Ken Griffey in right will go sixth. Dan Dreesen, the DH, will bat seventh. Cesar Geronimo in center field will go eighth. And Davey Concepcion pretty much going to be the second leadoff hitter for Sparky Anderson. He's at short, batting ninth. Pedro can give you 125 pitches if he's on. That's into the 8th. Defensively for Boston, Troy O'Leary is a 7 and a 4 in left. Darren Lewis, a 5 and a 4 in center. Trot Nixon, a 4 and a 5 in right. John Valentin, a 5 at third. Nomar Garciaparra is a 4 and a 7 at short. Jose Offerman is a 3 and a 7 at second. Mike Stanley helps you do things right. He's a 3 at first. Jason Varitek, an 8 and a 5 behind the plate. Pedro was a 7 with a .966 fielding percentage. Yeah, it's just the overall. It's the Cheech picture pack. You don't remember Jose Offerman, or you try not to? No, Pedro pitched for the Dodgers. He came up with L.A. Joe Morgan hit .327 in 75, 17 homers, and 94 RBI. Pedro winds and deals. That's a ground ball to Offerman over to Stanley, 1 out. This defense for Boston would be bad in Strat and is not great in Action PC. Pete Rose, he did not steal a base. Hit .317 in 75, 7 homers, and drove in 74. He walked 89 times. He had 760 plate appearances, so Sparky let him off. However, I think you got Morgan who could steal 60 bases. You put Morgan on. JT Dutch has trauma. So do I over Jose Offerman. You know, at one point, the Red Sox were using him at first. How you doing, Andy? Pitch to Pete. There's a base hit left center field. Lewis will throw to second, and Rose is out. Pete got a little hyped up. He went for the double, and Lewis, who does not have a great arm, threw him out. So 2 out for Johnny Bench. Go ahead. Say it's rigged. Hit .283. His 28 homers led the Reds. This was not a team that won with power. He drove in 110. You can't do that off of Pedro. Petey deals. Fly ball left field. Back goes O'Leary. Troy to the track. Makes the catch. And that will do. Reds got a hit, and Rose tried to get greedy. After half an inning, no score. The curious case of Gary Nolan, who really is a forgotten pitcher outside of Cincinnati. 27 years old, fastball at 85, and a fly ball pitcher. He made 32 starts for Sparky Anderson's Reds. Went 15-9 with a 3.16 ERA. He only threw 210 and 2/3. I knew that was coming. Allowed 202 hits. 75 runs, 74 of those earned. He walked 18 homers. He walked 29 and struck out 74. Talk about pitch to contact. My word. The lineup he will face. Jose Offerman leads off for the Red Sox. We'll remember him with Kansas City. Mike Stanley at batting second, will play first. Nomar Garciaparra at short will bat third. Troy O'Leary cleans up and left. Brian Daubach will be the DH. He is a worse first baseman than Stanley. That's why we flipped him that way. The captain, Jason Varitek, behind the plate, batting sixth. Trot Nixon in right, batting seventh. John Valentin at third goes eighth. And Darren Lewis, again, trying to do her second leadoff spot, will bat ninth. Nolan can give you 8 innings. Defensively for Cincinnati, George Foster a 7 and a 6 in left. Cesar Geronimo a 10 and a 10 in center. Wow. Ken Griffey a 6 and a 6 in right. Pete Rose a 5 at third. Davey Concepcion a 9 and a 9 at short. Joe Morgan a 9 and a 9 at second. Defensively, they are solid up the middle. Tony Perez a 5 at first. Johnny Bench a 9 and a 9 behind the plate. And Nolan is an 8. So you have almost perfection with Bench, Concepcion, Morgan, and you have it with Geronimo. Defensively, Nolan did not commit an error, by the way. It's a 1,000 fielding percentage. Yeah, Nolan is certainly a pitch-to-contact pitcher, and it's from a different era. And remember, this 75 Reds team 50 years ago. Yes, and that was the thing. Nolan got hurt early. Everyone remembers Don Gullett. Jack Bellingham was who the computer wanted to start. He had some good years with Detroit. Offerman at 294, 8 homers, 11 triples. Imagine that. And 69 RBI. Nolan deals, and Offerman strikes out. Imagine that. Pedro didn't strike anybody out in the first, and Nolan strikes out the first man he sees. Baseball's a funny game, isn't it? Mike Stanley at 281, 19 homers and 72 RBI. Nolan deals, struck him out. He got him to chase a 1-2. He injured himself in 73. He wouldn't have had TJ because TJ first was in 74. So here's Nomar. Nomar only struck out 39 times in 99. According to the computer here. He hit 357. He hit 27 homers and drove in 104. Nolan deals, ground ball to Concepcion on a hard hop, throws to Perez, and Nomar is retired. So there you go. That's baseball for you, Susan. Nolan strikes out 2 in the first, and Pedro doesn't strike out anybody after 1 no score. Tony Perez at 282, 20 homers and 109 RBI. PD deals. There's a ground ball to third. Valentino crossed the way. 1 out. George Foster at 300. And yes, he did come up with the Giants. 23 homers and 78 RBI. Ground ball to third. Valentin second verse. Same as the first. 2 out. For Ken Griffey, hitting 305, 4 homers, and 46 RBI. James Woodis fan, 209 times and counting. Yep. Wodja Clemens is in George's box. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes, her. You know what her connection to the Red Sox is? Pitch to Griffey. Base hit left field. O'Leary will pick it up. Griffey knows better than to run. And there's 1 on and 2 out for Dan Drees in the DH at 281. 7 homers and 38 RBI. Nolan struck out 200 as a rookie. I did not know that. Susan Waldman, who can make a case actually for Cooperstown, was the first voice ever on WFAN on July 1st, 1987. So she's a trained opera singer. And she was looking to get into sports broadcasting. And she had a very good friend. Susan's from Boston, as a matter of fact. Pitch to Dreesen. Dan has a base hit in the right field. Nixon will try for third. There goes Griffey. The throw is going to be not in time. Runners on the corners, 2 out for Geronimo, hitting 257, 6 homers, and 53 RBI. So she was looking to get her start. Only won anything open in Boston. So her good friend also was a good singer, Sherm Feller, who happened to be the PA announcer for the Red Sox for about 35 years, suggested go to New York. Try it out. See what happens. She got the job covering the Yankees for WFAN, and the rest is history. Pitch to Geronimo. Dreesen goes. They're going to hold so Griffey doesn't try and steal. So Dreesen on second, 2 out for Geronimo in a 1-ball count. Pedro trying to work out of it here in the second. 2 on, 2 out. Struck him out. Pedro threw the cutter at 93, and that'll do. The Reds strand 2 on 2 hits and no errors. And after an inning and a half, no score. And indeed, now you know the rest. of the story. For Garlic tablets and Geico Car Insurance, Ron Juckett. Good day. It'll be O'Leary, Dahlbach, and Veritek here in the second for Boston. O'Leary at 280, 28 homers, and 103 RBI. How about that? That is a ground ball. Morgan robs him of a hit. How about that? Or since we're doing the Red Sox, Ned Martin would say, mercy. Here's Daubert. Brian at 294, 21 homers and 73 RBI. Nolan Deals popped up. Bench. Not a lot of room back there. Makes the catch. Right up against the screen. So the Reds doing everything but score. Here's Jason Veritek. Jason at 269, 20 homers and 76 RBI. Nolan Deals. Slow chopper to Morgan. He'll throw to Perez, and Veritek's out on a bang-banger. Wow. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 2 at Fenway, no score. So Concepcion, Morgan, and Rose to face Pedro. Dave at 274, 5 homers and 49 RBI. Got him. He looked at a 1-2 changeup, 1 out. Morgan 0 for 1. Petey, 25 pitches, 9 batters, 2 1/3, 3 strikeouts, and 2 hits. 99's a year where, yes, in Game 5, the hitless 6 innings of relief in Game 5 against Cleveland. One of the most eye-dropping performances you'll ever see in a postseason series. Bumgarner's 6 innings of almost no-hit relief in Game 7 against Kansas City was pretty good, too. That is true. I love that they used all the great classic announcers in that one scene in Naked Gun. Is it Dick Enberg, Kurt Gowdy, Dr. Joyce Brothers, Dick Vitale? But Reggie didn't kill the Queen. Pitch to Morgan. There is a ground ball to Nomar. Has to hurry. They got him. 2 out for Rose. Pete singled his first time up and was thrown out trying to stretch that into a double. Gowdy, I was just kind of Greg and everybody, and every man. He did the, American Sportsman, which I'm sure you saw through a fuzzy picture up in Tirana. But, he was the guy that you knew that you could probably just have a beer with. In fact, I think Scotty has told me the story of having a beer with him. Just a loose guy. There is a ground ball to Offerman over to Stanley, and Rose is retired. So 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 3 here, no score. So Nixon is the one here, and Valentin and Lewis here in the third. Trot at 270, 15 homers, and 52 RBI. Pitch to Nixon. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Griffey. Off the wall. Nixon will hold with a double. And that's the first hit for Boston. Brings up John Valentin at 253, 12 homers, and 70 RBI. Football, baseball is pretty much everyone's native sport. But I think Kurt's love was football. He was good at it. He actually did the inaugural AFL on ABC, him and Paul Chrisman, and moved over to NBC once NBC got the rights to the AFL for 65. Pitch to Valentin. There is a shallow drive to right that's going to drop in front of Griffey. Nixon takes a long look, but we will hold him at third. Runners on the corners, nobody out for Darren Lewis. Lewis at 240, 2 homers, and 40 RBI. I thought that was you. I bet that was a blast. And if you want to get Kurt going, ask him about Joe Garagiola. You know what? I always thought, maybe because it was the kid in me, JT, that Summerall and Brookshire were the better pair. Maybe not for Pat's liver. But yes, Summerall was the perfect pairing for Madden. Tim, yeah, okay. Yeah, this was the year the Red Sox, they put 24 up in Game 4? That's a base hit into center field. Nixon will score. Valentin will hold. Geronimo couldn't get there, and it's 1-0 Boston. And again, I hear Kuznarek going, rigged. Jose Offerman struck out his first time up, opening 9 for Nolan, 35 pitches, 2 innings, 3 hits. The run is earned. He has struck out 2. First and second, nobody out. Red Sox stringing some hits together. Fly ball, center field. Geronimo rides the Schwinn, makes the catch. And with a dart to Rose, Valentin, blessed with Red Sox speed, didn't dare go. 1 out for Stanley, who struck out his first time up. No, you got to set it for each thing. Instead of doing this, I set up a special season for this, JT, and you have to set it in the rules to have it. So when we do the greatest hits tournament starting Monday, it'll be there. But it's a setting you have to toggle. And since really this is kind of a one-off, I didn't bother. I did create the stadium, by the way. Such a great picture. I'm not a big fan of those stands in the Monster, but you know what? Fenway looks mighty fine to me. Mike Stanley struck out his first time up. Yeah, Scotty sent me the link. I haven't watched it yet. The Jeff Toborg Baseball Life, that looks very good. When Dave Berber got hurt in Game 3 and screwed up the entire rotation. The thing, though, with the Indians, and by 99 it was quite apparent. We've talked about this before. Sorry, Tim and Todd. They had a lot of 2s, but they never had a 1 in that rotation. Pitch to Stanley. Fly ball, right center. Griffey will make the catch. Valentin bluffs. Not going to go. 2 out for Noma, who's 0 for 1. Thing is with, when did the Indians had a tremendous amount of offense, as you guys know, and that can cover a lot of cracks. There is a hard shot to Perez. Tony takes the bag, and that will do. Red Sox get on the board. A run on 3 hits, no errors. We go to the 4th. Red Sox 1, Reds nothing. So bench Perez and Foster to face Petey here in the 4th. Johnny is 0 for 1. Fly ball, left field. Back goes O'Leary, and Troy will make the catch for the out. 59 degrees, raining. I saw the, it's on YouTube, Steve. Scotty, you should be able to post a link. Tony Perez is 0 for 1. Indians scored over 1,000 runs that year. It wouldn't surprise me. Struck him out. That's 3 for Pedro. 2 out for Foster, who's 0 for 1. There's a fly ball, left field. Back goes O'Leary. High off the monster. O'Leary does his impression of Plastic Man, leaps up, can't make the play. Foster is in the second standing with a double. 4th hit off of Petey. Here's Griffey, who singled his first time up. 1,009 runs. That's a lot. There's a ground ball to Stanley, and that will do. No reason to show you any. I can show you standings. Reds get a hit, no runs, no errors. Bottom 4, 1-0 Boston. So, if you look at these two teams, the Reds won 108. The Red Sox won 94. They finished in second behind the Yankees. They were a wild card team. All things being equal, I mean, look, the Reds had 4 hitters hitting above 300. Morgan, Rose, Griffey, and Foster. And Bench and Perez at 283 and 282. But no one had more than 330 homers. They could steal. .50. I would think that the Reds are better on paper, but Pedro's the better pitcher. O'Leary 0 for 1. The thing I think with the Reds is that they were just very steady from top to bottom in their rotation. Tiant was the Red Sox best pitcher in 75. Pitch to O'Leary. Base hit, right field. You know, everybody remembers the Fisk game. What would have been the case if Jim Rice had played, if Rice was healthy? For as much as this team, as it should be lauded, I mean, you got Rose, who probably should be in the Hall of Fame, Perez and Morgan, who are in the Hall of Fame, Bench is in the Hall of Fame. It took to the last inning of the last game for them to actually win the series. Pitch to Daubach, 0 for 1 up the middle. Morgan, Concepcion, Perez, 4-6-3. 2 out here in the fourth. He got enough gold gloves here in the middle of that infield to make Fort Knox blush. Veritek is 0 for 1. Veritek caught 4 no-hitters. I'm not sure if Toborg did or not. This isn't a series. This is a one-off, but yes. Pedro beat Clemens in Game 3 of the ALCS that year. Some of us had a great time with that. 1 perfect game and 2 no-hitters, including Nolan Ryan's first no-hitter. Making the truck, how are you? Rod Hassey caught 2 perfect games. Len Barker and did he catch Brownings in 88? Veritek's 0 for 1. That's into center. Back goes Geronimo. Good night. Veritek in a dead center. And it's 2-0 Boston. Forget that 397. He just uncorked one. Oh, Denny Martinez in 91. Okay. Against the Dodgers. Here's Nixon, doubled his first time up and scored in the third. That is outstanding tribute. Veritek caught 4 no-hitters, which is the all-time record. Yeah, didn't Toborg catch Koufax's perfecto? Pitch to Nixon, drops. That's a base hit. That wasn't a bunt. I remember, you're the one managing the Red Sox, you idiot. Nubbed it, and Bench just ate it. 6 hit for the Red Sox. Here's Valentin. John singled his first time up. I thought so. Toborg said he took credit for Koufax's perfecto unless Sandy was around. Catchers have a lot to do with that. I'm assuming that Bench caught Seaver's no-hitter. Fly ball, right field. Griffey will make the catch, and that will do. Red Sox get the solo homer from the captain, Jason Veritek. 3 hits have left on 3. We go to the 5th. 2-0 Boston. So Dreesen, Geronimo, and Concepcion to face Petey. And after this half inning, we will show you the brackets for the the Retro Sports Network Greatest Hits Tournament, which starts Monday. Pull out your rosaries to see how your favorite team, who they drew. Pitch to Dreesen. Walked him. For Geronimo, who struck out his first time up. There's a ground ball to Offerman, and he can't make the play. Don Werner caught Seaver's no-hitter. So did Johnny ever catch one? I did not know that. You'd win a bar bet with that. So Offerman doing what Offerman does best. Tying run is on. Dreesen on second, Geronimo on first for Concepcion. Davey struck out his first time up. Will there be cheerleaders? Bench was injured. That's curious because Bench is considered to be the premier defensive catcher of all time. Did he ever catch a no-hitter? No, we're not letting the cat in, and I didn't bring any Moxie. Ground ball to first. Stanley. Garcia Parra for one. That's all they're going to get. So first and third, one out for Joe Morgan, who is 0 for 2. Petey, 18 batters, 68 pitches, 4 1/3. 4 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Last perfecto in Dodger history was Koufax's in 65. Yeah, although Jerry Royce and Clayton Kershaw threw no-hitters, which would have been perfectos if not for errors. Oh, Jim Maloney, wow. In 69. Okay. Maloney no-hit the Cubs, too. That is the oldest color tape I've seen for more than a couple innings. It's not the full game. He threw like 153 pitches at Wrigley. Runners on the corners. They concede the bat to Concepcion because Dreesen can run. And now, 2 on, 1 out for Morgan with Rose on deck. There's a little ground ball to third. Valentin's got it. They'll take the shore out at first. And no, they won't because it got away from Stanley. And Valentin throws it away. They get nobody. Concepcion is at second. He was as surprised as anybody. 2-1. Here's Rose. Pete 1 for 2. Yet Stewart no-hit the Jays the same night that Fernando Valenzuela no-hit the Reds. So for only time in history there was 2 no-hitters in one day, and they both were ESPN games. Pitch to Rose. Walked him. So the bases are loaded. Concepcion on third, Morgan on second, Rose on first for Johnny Bench, who is 0 for 2. Into center, Lewis. This should tie it. Lewis makes the catch. Concepcion will tag and score without a throw, and this one's tied at 2. As you'd expect. Tony Perez 0 for 2 with the K. So Morgan, the go-ahead run on second. And Rose, who didn't steal a bag, on first. Jim Palaroni, a Seattle Pilot alum, caught Catfish's Hunter's perfect game in 68. The throw to second, Morgan back. Got him. All right, halfway home. You're going to get the commercial. We're going to show you the box score and then reveal the bracket. Right after this. Hello, Vienna calling. John, are you in Austria? Rock me, Amadeus. If you joined us late, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the 75 Reds. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors, of course, for the 99 Red Sox. Red Sox got on top in the third. A Darren Lewis single scored Trot Nixon to make it 1-0. And then Jason Varitek bombed one into the bleachers in center field to make it 2-0. The big red machine got up and running in the 5th. Joe Morgan reached on an error to make it 2-1 after we conceded the run. Nice play. Good play, John Valentin. And then Johnny benched a sac fly to make it a 2-2 game. Gary Nolan, 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a homer, and 2 strikeouts. Petey, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 unearned runs. He has walked 2. Oh, yay, congratulations. I wondered why you didn't ask me any questions for the baseball mailbag. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to reveal the brackets for our greatest teams, the greatest hits tournament. So here's what I did. I took the 8 teams, put them in chronological order, pulled out an 8-sided virtual die, and rolled. We didn't give no favors for anybody. Okay, so we didn't seed them. It's a absolute blind draw. So the first matchup will give Scotty nightmares. The Dodgers rolled a 1. The Cardinals rolled an 8. So it's a 78 Dodgers against the 85 Cardinals. Good luck beating the house of Tudor. All these series will be best of 3, with each team getting the home game. The quote-unquote higher seed will get a 3rd game at home, but everything is best of 3. This will be a 7-week tournament. The 49 Yankees rolled a 2, and the 2001 Mariners rolled a 7. Good luck to the Yankees. They threw a lot of walks in Seattle. Of the 8 teams here, had the best record and probably the least surprising World Series winner of all the teams. I did not plan it this way. The Red Sox and the Reds in a first-round series. How about that? That should be fun because those teams were very, very even. But the Red Sox get home field. I don't know. Hurst better win Game 2 in Cincinnati. And last but not least, the 56 Yankees and the 82 Expos. So those are the 4. So the winner of the Cardinals and the Dodgers will face the Yankee-Mariner winner. And the other semifinal, Red Sox-Reds, will face the Yankees-Expos. It should be great fun. I mean, the Red Sox and Reds was probably the best World Series we've done in the 7. And, again, we try to go blind draws. So Dodgers-Cardinals, Monday at noon from Dodger Stadium. Yeah, no needing fewer. No ping pong balls. Is Mia Hamm in the chat with us? No, I think Mia's teaching. Pratt and Whitney. Todd certified these. So again, Dodgers, Cardinals, 49 Yankees, Mariners, Red Sox, Reds, Yankees, Expos, DH for all these. Will I bench Dwight Evans? No. If there is a Game 3, it would be at Fenway. And again, absolute blind draw, so just wanted to show you how I did it. Darren Lewis singled and scored in the 3rd. Or singled and drove home a run. So what do you guys think? Pitch to Lewis. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Foster. And George will make the catch. 1 out for Offerman, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Mike at the truck still with us? Walked him. Offerman 0 for 2 with a walk now. Nolan, 19 batters deep, 66 pitches, 4 1/3, 6 hits. The home run to Varitek. A walk and 2 strikes. So, what are you guys' thoughts about that? Again, I was Casey Strangle or Casey Stengel? Well, it's Casey Strangle in game 1. Then it'll be Strangle and Stengel in game 2. I would take St. Louis, Seattle, the Reds, and the Yankees. Are my thoughts. Mike Stanley 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Lee Lacy and Billy North should probably be the DH platoon for the Yankees. I'll keep that in mind. Carlton Fisk never caught a no-hitter. '85 Cardinals will go with Tudor in Los Angeles, Andujar in St. Louis, and if we go back to L.A., they're going to go with Danny Cox. I mean, we will have hopefully hitting coach Scotty for the Dodgers. You never know. I mean, that's why we're going to do this. It should be great fun. It was Todd B's idea, by the way. Blame him. Stanley 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Throw the first offer, but they picked him off. Are you kidding? He wasn't going. Trust me, he wasn't going. And Nolan threw over to Perez, and Tony put on the tag. AJ, do I ever edit these down to shorter vids? I don't clip them. I mean, they're hour streams. People get mad if I do that. Fist didn't catch Mike Torres' last pitch of the '78 season either. We don't talk about Mike Torres in mixed company. There's a ground ball to third. Rose over to Perez for the out. What I do, AJ, is because people do skip around. An average hour that I do, people will watch 15 minutes. Foster, by the way, Griffey, and Dreesen here in the 6th. As there was no runs, no hits, no errors, we go to the 6-2-2. I'll do the summary at the halfway mark. Yeah, Greg, the only time I ever got in trouble in school was that day. Pitch to Foster. Ground ball to Nomar over to Stanley for the out. Jose Offerman, JT, is the very baseball definition of a square peg in a round hole. Ken Griffey is 1 for 2 with a single. So, flashback with me to October 1st, 1978. Griffey hits a ground ball to Offerman behind the bag over to Stanley for the out, 2 away. Dreesen has singled, walked, stolen a base, and scored. Little Retro Sports Network. Was in the 3rd grade. Now, I was a year ahead of where I should have been, so I was 6 in the 3rd grade. Don't ask. And so nervous as anything, it's going to be an after-school game on ABC, and really, I think we knew it was for the World Series. Whoever won that game was going to win the World Series. Apologies to Scotty and JT and all that. And so, in southern Vermont, we had some Yankee fans and some Red Sox fans. And in my best 3rd grade voice, about 2 minutes before we were let go, someone said something to me, and I said the Yankees rot, and we got into it. And we had to stay after school for 15 minutes. Pitch to Dreesen. Struck him out 5 for Pedro through 5.5. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th here at Fenway. It's still raining. 2-2. Yeah, holy disrespect, Batman. So that is the only time I ever got in trouble or stayed after school. Was that day, October 1st, 1978. Here's Nomar. He's 0 for 2. O'Leary and Daubach to follow. There's a ground ball to short. Nomar is going to be 0 for 3 as Perez makes the catch. 1 out. O'Leary 1 for 2. Troy's got himself a single. AJ, to get back to your point, it would be a pain in the butt to edit these. Ron Rebel Jucket. Yep. There is a ground ball to Morgan, a hard throw to first, and Troy is retired 2 out for Brian Dahlbog, who was 0 for 2 and grounded into a double play. Oh, I think she was highly abused. Her name was Miss Cromack, and it was a miss. I think she was second year out of teaching school. She did the second grade the year before, which is my first year in that school. She was not my second grade teacher. I think she was all of 24. She moved to Pennsylvania after that year, or the year after, and I'm sure that she just was, because we were good kids. Yeah, it meant a lot. Andy, one of Andy's good friends is a sixth-generation Vermonter, hardcore Yankee fan, as was his dad and his grandfather. The Yankees were, for up until a couple years ago, were on the radio up here every day, and down in Rutland. It is, you know, we are part of the Yankee universe. If Reggie didn't get his ass out the baseline in Game 4, not that JT Touch isn't bitter or anything, and if the umpires hadn't taken a short nap at the time, maybe the World Series turns out different. Ron ran her out of the state. Turns out that particular year, I almost lived right across the street from her. Didn't realize it. Didn't know that till Halloween when we went trick-or-treating. But then again, we were the generation that wore snowsuits underneath our costumes. Pitch to Dauber. Fly ball, shallow center. Geronimo makes the catch. And that will do. After 6, no runs, no hits, no errors. AJ, this is why it's also hard to edit this stuff down. I get blabbing. No, 2-2 the score. So Geronimo, Concepcion, and Morgan to face Petey here in the 7th. Cesar 0 for 2 with a K. Are you saying Reggie wasn't a Dodger? Nobody drove a cannon. Did she play the song Don't Stand So Close to Me anywhere during that after-school suspension? I don't think she had to worry about the third graders going hot for teacher. Pitch to Geronimo is into center. Lewis makes the catch. 1 out. For Concepcion, Davey 0 for 2. Run, he reached on an air, struck him out once, reached on an air and stole a base. In the 85 series. If you were to ask me on paper to get back to the 7 teams that have won the World Series, I think the 0-1 Mariners are the best team on paper. Tim thinks that Don't Stand So Close to Me was the pandemic anthem. Tim, did you see what I posted on Facebook today? Pitch to Concepcion. Struck him out. That's 6 for Petey. 2-2. Fastball at 95, and that'll bring up Joe Morgan. And this is when Pedro turns into the pumpkin his 3rd time through the lineup. Morgan 0 for 3. Pedro 102 pitches, 6 2/3. 4 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 6. Neither run is earned. JT and I agree we didn't need a pandemic to embrace social distancing. Got him. 7 for Petey. Stretch time 2-2. I think that was a bookstore, Tim. So I post a meme every day on Facebook because I'm that way. And today's was a picture of Sting and the 4 books that were part of the lyrics of The Police, Don't Stand So Close to Me. I thought it was funny. Then again, I'm weird. Jason Varitek homered in the 4th. He is 1 for 2. 2-2 the score. Nolan on 87 pitches through 6. And we have a rain delay. Are you kidding me? And so we went 63 minutes, so Petey's only going to face 28 batters. Even the baseball gods are against Pedro going through that lineup the 4th time. So Sparky will go with Pedro Borbon. Dracula is 28. Curveball at 85. 9-5 in 75. A 2.95 ERA. 67 games, 125 innings. However, 145 hits, 6 home runs. He walked 21 and struck out 29. So Petey's day will be done. The Reds get to feast on the Red Sox bullpen. Good luck with that. Varitek into left field. Foster will make the catch. 1 out. For Trot Nixon, he has singled, doubles, and scored once. He is 2 for 2. Borbon deals. That's a base hit into right field. Griffey picks it up off the wet grass, and Nixon has his 3rd hit today. Nixon, a pure right-handed hitter. Could not hit... right-handed pitching hitter. Cannot hit lefties for anything. John Valentin, his error was costly as it caused both or one of the 2 Reds runs to score. John 1 for 2. Todd B still has the brick of 50 Ramon Martinez rookie cards. A Donruss rated rookie or the Cal Daniels wood grain 87 tops. That all stuck together. Who does Jimmy Juckett go with? I don't know. Pitch to Val. There's a ground ball. Concepcion. Morgan for 1. Perez for 2. So Martinez gets his due. It is switchy righty. Do we go with El Guapo? I think we go with El Guapo. Rich Garces, El Guapo, 28 years old, throws the curve. Oh, 89 upper deck. Well, those things stuck together in the packs. Rich went 5-1 for Boston with a 1.55 ERA. In 30 games, he went 40 2/3. He allowed 25 hits, a homer. He walked 18 and struck out 33. Rose, Bench, and Perez to face him. Good luck. Upper Deck 89, the first baseball cards to be sold in a pack at $1. $1 a pack. And Rose draws the walk. For Johnny Bench, who was 0 for 2 with an RBI. Garza steals. Center field, Lewis has it, and Rose goes back to first. 1 out for Tony Perez, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. So Pedro's day is done. Got him! A 1-2 fastball, and I'm not sure what Perez was looking for, but not that. 2 out for George Foster. Bananas has a double. He's 1 for 3. Yes. Yep, the famous Griffey is the one in the first edition. I believe it was the first time since 73 that a card company released in 2 series. I believe there were 2 series in 89, if I remember correctly. Yes, he is in that set. $40 for a box of those. Yep, $1 a pack. Ridiculous. Wish I bought a case and left it unopened. I think I've told you the time I saw Ken Griffey Jr. take batting practice up here, right? Pitch to Foster. There is a base hit left field. O'Leary will have it. They're going to try for Rose at third. Nomar should have had it. O'Leary's throw, not in time. Rose slides into third and tells John Valentin how much he loves baseball. So Rose on third, Foster on first for Griffey, who is 1 for 3. Yeah, 93. And Jeter was in Series 1. And what box do I have? Series 2. Thanks, Tops. Those were 75 cents a pack. The traded sets, yes, but those weren't, you couldn't buy those in packs, could you? You had to buy the box of 132. Veritek and Garces have a word. Griffey to third. Valentin's got it. A long throw to first. Stanley stays on the bag, and that will do. No runs, a hit, no errors. Bottom of the 8th here at Fenway. 62 degrees on this April Fool's Day. Reds 2, Red Sox 2. Yeah, you had to buy the set. Jason Kendall and Preston Wilson were also in Series 1. And Jeter looks to be, a skinny toothpick in that set. Darren Lewis, by the way, 1 for 2. A single and an RBI. And as a kid, I never saw those sets. I don't know where you got them. Pitch to Lewis. Center field, Geronimo, 1 out. For Offerman, who was 0 for 2. He's walked and struck out. And Jose draws the walk. Now, Offerman... No, he doesn't. Never mind. Stanley 0 for 3 with a K. 1 out. Nomar on deck. Hope you're enjoying this one. Fly ball, left field. Foster will make the grab. Offerman back. Nomar 0 for 3. After this, Bonds looked like a stick pin. Oh, yeah, with the Pirates 86 tops traded, right? Scotty says after the 65 season and the manager of the store where you bought your Topps cards sold the leftover stock for $1. Oh, did you buy a case? Oh, my God. Only traded cards Tim ever got were the Mo Vaughn one. 86 traded set was better than... Yes, it was. Nomar hits a ground ball to third. Rose across the way to Perez. And Nomar is retired. We have played set 8 at Fenway. No runs, no hits, and no errors. It is the Reds 2, the Red Sox 2. So Dreesen, Geronimo, and Concepcion. I probably should change Garces. And he will face Rod Beck. Beck, I believe, was a late pickup for Boston. 0-1 with a 1.93 ERA, 12 games, 31 years old. Hard curve, fastball 89. And a ground ball plus pitcher. And limited duty with Boston, 14 innings, 9 hits. I want to say he came over from San Francisco. He walked 5 and struck out 12. It'll be Dreesen, Geronimo, and Concepcion here in the 9th. Dan 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, stolen a base, walked, and struck out. Oh, yeah. Just didn't matter. Struck him out. Oh, would that come from the Cubs? One of the cases where the Red Sox finally got it right with the reliever. Too late in their career. Geronimo was 0 for 3 with a K. Got him. A good morning and a good afternoon as Geronimo chases a 2-2 fastball. 2 out for Concepcion, 0 for 3. A run scored and a stolen base. O'Leary, Daubach, and Veritek in the 9th. And if anyone should reach the red-hot Trot Nixon. Hard ground ball to Nomar, over to Stanley, and that will do for the Reds. No runs, no hits, no errors. Cardiac time, kiddies, here at Fenway. After 8.5, Reds 2, Red Sox 2. So O'Leary, Daubach, and Veritek to face Bourbon, who has allowed 1 hit and a walk over 2 innings. A friend of Scotty's was in charge of the Bellingham Mariners when we had that Griffey kid. I still have your uncut sheet. First pro card. That's probably worth a small fortune, Scotty. There is a base hit right field that got away from Geronimo. O'Leary is going to have 2. O'Leary's on his way to third to throw to Peter Edward. Not in time, and the winning run is 90 feet away. Scotty, who you want to see tomorrow? Daubach, 0 for 3. Everybody playing in. Infield in, outfield in, Sparky's in. The Dauber is hit into a double play and is 0 for 3. Bourbon sweating bullets on this cold day in Boston. Fly ball, shallow right. That won't be deep enough. Griffey's almost at first, for crying out loud. O'Leary will hold. 1 out for Veritek. The captain homered in the 4th. He is 1 for 3 and scored a run. Again, the entire state of Ohio playing in here. Bourbon, a deep breath. Nixon on deck. Walked him. Now, what do? Oh, you're playing all in. See, if I was a computer, I'd be playing back. You're set up for 2. Nixon has had himself a day. He has singled twice and doubled once. He is 3 for 3 with a run scored. Computer's running Bourbon, though, so Bench and Pedro have a word. Popped up behind the plate. Johnny to the screen. Not to hit the screen, and we'll do it again. 3-2 the count. It's full. I think the Reds would rather face Valentin than Nixon. In the center, Geronimo makes the catch. O'Leary will tag. He's going to try it. Here comes the throw. They got him. We're playing extra. Geronimo with a dead strike to Bench, and O'Leary was out walking the beat. And at night, he becomes a bartender after 9, 2-2. So Morgan, Rose, and Bench. Yep, Geronimo atones for the ball squirting away from him and all the way to the wall and right. The Red Sox had a runner on third, nobody out, and cannot score. Morgan, 0 for 4 with a K. To Offerman, 1 out. Rose, 1 for 2. He has singled and walked twice. Popped up, Noma. 2 out. For Bench, Johnny 0 for 3 with an RBI. Got him! So Beck gives you 6 outs and an album. After 9.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. Reds 2, Red Sox 2. They got a full pen. I don't know why you're not pitching anybody. Valentin, Lewis, and Offerman here in the 10th for Boston. John 1 for 3. He has singled and grounded into a double play. Stays in the game. That's a base hit. Foster will pick it up. Throws to Concepcion, and Wally Eastwick comes in to pitch for the Reds. But John is the winning run. Raleigh, the Reds' fireman in 75, is 24. Throws a fastball at 89 and a ground ball pitcher. He went 5-3 for Sparky. A 2.60 ERA, 58 games, 22 saves. They're playing in on the corners for the bunt. Lewis is going to swing. Maybe he's going to run. Anyway, the rest of Raleigh's numbers: 90 innings, 77 hits, 6 home runs. He's walked 25 and struck out 61. No truth to the rumor that Pat Dorsey is lurking yet. Remember that 51-year-old Carlton Fisk is putting on a jersey. Just like, yeah, I didn't even see that. In case they go, Sparky goes to Pat Dorsey. I hadn't seen it. I knew you'd said something, but I didn't look over. Great minds think alike, JT. Lewis is going to swing. There's a fly ball center field. Geronimo goes back, makes the catch, 1 out. Oh, my goodness. That's funny. Here's Offerman. He's 0 for 2. Walked twice and a strikeout. So what game we want tomorrow? Pitch to Offerman. There's a ground ball to Morgan. Goes to Concepcion for 1, Perez for 2. And so 4-6-3, the Red Sox go down in the 10th. No runs, a hit. They've left on 5. Unusual for a Red Sox team. After 10, 2-2. So Perez, Foster, and Griffey. And we will go with John Wasden. These are not pictures from 99. The Rock. Can't stop the Rock. 27 years old. Fastball at 89. And a fly ball pitcher. Wasden's ERA was lower. John 8-3 on the real year with a 4.12 ERA. We went with the 2 lowest ERAs out of the pen, and Garces and Beck, and they pitched well. 74 1/3 for John. 66 hits, 14 homers. He walked 18 and struck out 57. Perez, Foster, and Griffey. Again, the whatever advantage the Red Sox had is gone because Pedro got weathered out. Perez 0 for 4. The Red Sox pitchers have fanned him 3 times. Left center field. Back goes O'Leary, off the wall. So Perez leads off the 11th with a double. For Foster, who is 2 for 4, he has singled. Again, with this Reds lineup, there are no weak spots. Stanley, Garcia, Parra, O'Leary, and then Daubach. Maybe. For Boston. There's no wind. The rain has stopped. It's a cool April day. Pitch to Foster. That's into right center. Lewis running a long way. Makes the catch. Perez tags and will hold. And old friend and Armbrister will come in to pinch for Perez? Armbrister can score on a hit. Well, if you can make a Carlton Fisk jokes, and so can it Armbrister. Griffey 1 for 4. Got himself a single. Struck him out. That's 2 out. For Dreesen, Dan 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, struck out twice, scored, and stole a base. That's true. He didn't try to bunt, but he's going to have to play. Center field, Lewis will make the catch. The Reds threaten but do not score. Terry Crowley comes into play first base. Raleigh Eastwick stays in the pitch. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning. This one's been better than I thought it would be. It'll be Stanley Nomar and Troy O'Leary here in the 11th. Mike is 0 for 4 with a K. I think we put everyone else to sleep, JT. Base hit right field. Griffey picks it up, and the winning run is on. And we will pinch run. With Damon Buford. Nomar can win it right here, right now. Wouldn't that be something? Eastwick gave up 6 home runs in 75. Throw to first. I thought of that, and Buford's back and not going to steal. Oh, Terry Crowley was a couple years behind Andy's mom in high school. Did you see that Don Drysdale and Robert Redford were in the same graduating class? Pitch to Nomar. There's a pop-up foul ball left side, and somebody from Burlington made that catch. Now my mouth's full. Someone, what game do you want to see tomorrow? Nomar 0 for 4. Full count. Popped up. Left side. Rose will make the grab. 1 out. For O'Leary, Troy is 2 for 4. He is singled and tripled. Robert Redford from the meme? Yes. Roy Hobbs. Todd B waiting for a Merv Rittman signing. O'Leary swings, left center field. Back goes Geronimo. Caesar to the wall, makes the catch. 2 out for Dauber. Brian 0 for 4. Has grounded into a double play. Ground ball to Crowley. Over to Eastwick, and the band plays on. We go to the 12th. Wasden can go another inning. Oh, my goodness. And Lou Merlone, the Brian Scalabrine of the Boston Red Sox, comes into play first. I don't think Redford's been culturally relevant in about 20 years, but Geronimo, Concepcion, and Morgan to face Wasden here in the 12th. That is into center field and will drop in front of Darren Lewis. And Cesar has a hit. Here's Concepcion. Dave is 0 for 4. Can't really bunt. A run and a stolen base. And that got away from Veritek, and Jason was so embarrassed he went in the dugout. So the go-ahead run now is in scoring position. Nobody out and a 1-ball count. There's a ground ball to Nomar, over to Merlone, and Concepcion's out. Geronimo holds for Joe Morgan, who was 0 for 5 with a strikeout. And Morgan draws the FBO walk. First and second, 1 out. And with switchy righty-lefty, do we go with Cormier or Lowe? I think we go with Lowe. So Derek Lowe, 26 years old, fastball at 88. Sloke him if you got him. 6-3 for the Red Sox in 99, a 2.63 ERA. He went 74 games. Yeah, I did see that meme. That was one of his first appearances, too, at the Twilight Zone episode. Lowe, 109 and a third. 84 hits, 7 homers. He walked 25 and struck out 80. So Geronimo on second. Morgan on first. It's going to be hard to double up Morgan. Here's Rose, 1 for 3, who singled and walked twice. Fly ball, shallow right center. Nixon's the one. Makes the catch. Geronimo will hold. Veritek, Nixon, and Valentin for the Red Sox in the bottom of this inning. Johnny Bench 0 for 4 with an RBI and a strikeout. Got him! And the band plays on. JT, you got your wish. And that was your long-distance request and dedication. No runs, a hit. The Reds have left on 10. Bottom 12 here at Fenway. 2-2 the score. So Veritek, who homered in the 5th, or the 4th, Nixon and Valentin to face Raleigh Eastwood. Jason 1 for 3, also has a walk. This one turned out to be quite a ball game, didn't it? To Morgan, 1 out. Trot 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. Yeah, this has been quite that. And Nixon draws the walk. He is the winning run. Valentin 2 for 4. John is singled twice and grounded into a double play. Carlton Fisk has found Roy Hobbs' bat and is pleading with Jimmy Williams to go on deck. Bench and Eastwick have a word. Up the middle. Concepcion stops it. Throws to Crowley for the out. Nixon moves on to second. 2 out for Darren Lewis, who was 1 for 4. He has singled and driven in a run. Nixon will try to score. The Wonder Boy or the Savoy Special. Whatever one Glenn Close kissed. Up the middle. Morgan's got it over to Crowley, and we go to 13th. What is it about these two teams? No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to 13th in this special. Reds 2, Red Sox 2. So Terry Crowley will face Lowe, will get 2 innings. Foster and Griffey to follow. Crowley hit 268, a homer, and 11 RBI. In the book, he struck out. Makes for a better ending, to be honest, for a book. High ground ball to Offerman, over to Merlone, 1 out. Whatever we do tomorrow will be hard-pressed to be as good as this. Here's Foster, 2 for 5, single, a double. In the left center, Lewis makes the catch, 2 out. It'll be Offerman, Merlone, and Nomar. No, you couldn't do that in the movie. Absolutely not. Ken Griffey, 1 for 5. He has singled and struck out. And that is the very definition of a Hollywood ending. Now, we'll go eat our oatmeal. Up the middle, Offerman with a grab. How about that? Well, the Reds go in order in the 13th. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 12 and a half, it's the Reds 2, the Red Sox 2. So Eastwick's already thrown 3 innings. Didn't expect the Red Sox bullpen to hold the Reds to 7 hits in 13 frames. Offerman 0 for 3, has walked twice, struck out, been sworn out on both coasts, and grounded into a double play. To Morgan, 1 out. Here's Merlone, Lou at 254, a home run and 13 RBI. See, I haven't been on all week. The fire alarm testing that was supposed to be Monday never happened. Which means I could have streamed Monday. Pitch to Merlone. Base hit right field. Griffey cuts it off, and the winning run is on. For Nomar, who was due. Nomar 0 for 5 today. He hit 357. Eastwick has gone 3 1/3 in this one. Allowed 2 hits and a walk. Right field, Griffey, 2 out. How you doing, Paul? For O'Leary, 2 for 5. Troy has a triple. He's the one that tripled and could not score in the 9th. Once a month? What do you live in a school, Greg? They do them once a year here. And it's annoying because they have to do it in all the apartments and such. Pitch to O'Leary. That is up the middle. Morgan to Concepcion. And Merloni is retired. We go the 14th. No runs, a hit, no errors. Red Sox 2, Reds 2. So Dreesen, Geronimo. I might do the switch here. Former Expo, Real Cormier. Comes in. Real, 2-0 in 99, a 3.69 ERA, 60 games. He's 32. Fastball at 85 and a standard pitcher. Oh, Kondo. Yes, I understand that. Well, if we leave something in the toaster too long, Greg, we can test the alarms ourselves. Cormier, 63 1/3, 61 hits, 4 homers. He's walked 18 and struck out 39. Yeah, we don't do the golden runner. But the more of these that we play, the more I understand why Major League Baseball does it. So let's see what they do with Dreesen. And Doug Flynn will pinch hit. Oh, trust me, Andy, the fire trucks will come. The fine will be $500 at least, and I don't get any French dip. Yes, it's getting real now. Flinner at 268. A home run and 20 RBI. Does it look like I got my hair cut? The clippers I have started to yank. Pitch to Flynn. Fly ball right center. Back goes Lewis. Has it for the out. 1 out for Geronimo. 1 for 5. He has struck out twice. Thanks, Paul. He has singled once. That is a hard shot to Merloni. 2 out. It'll be Daubach, Veritek, and Nixon in the bottom of the 14th. Concepcion is 0 for 5. Has scored, stolen a base, and struck out twice. That's a ground ball to Merloni, who threw it away. He tried to rush it to Cormier, and Real wasn't really there. So Concepcion is on. He's the go-ahead run. That's the 3rd Red Sox error of the ballgame. Joe Morgan is 0 for 5 with a walk and a strikeout. Oh, yeah, that French dip was awesome, wasn't it? Todd B has a Bismarck with sausage, a biscuit, I'm assuming he's trying to write, with sausage gravy. Pitch to Morgan. There's a fly ball right center. Lewis. We go to the bottom of the 14th. Will McEnany thrown in the pitch. Reds 2, Red Sox 2. Will 5-2 in 75, a 2.47 ERA. He went 70 games. He's just 23 years old. Potato head. Is a fastball pitcher at 87 and a standard pitcher. The 14th inning stretch. My bladder was ready an hour ago. Do we go with Dauber? We could pinch hit here. Who can go? Who can hit a McEnany? We even have his pitcher. I've never heard of Creighton Gubinich before. At 277 with a homer and 11 RBI. And if you had him on your bingo card, good luck. Ooh, Poutine, yeah. I have never heard of Creighton Gubinich. Ground ball to Concepcion, over to Crowley for the out. Oh, Poutine's awesome. To the fake 1-8, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect this to go an hour and a half. Veritek 1 for 4, homered in the fourth, walked and scored. Struck him out. 2 out for Nixon. My goodness, we'd be at 5 hours and 43 minutes. So we're well into prime time now. Nixon 3 for 4. Oh, he can't hit either. Yeah, we are. We're going to hit him anyway. Grounds it foul, first base side. And somebody from Holyoke made that play. Count is 2-2. Yeah, time. This is a Twilight Zone type game, isn't it? Pitch to Trot. There's a ground ball to Morgan. Over to Crowley. We go to the 15th. Yep. Rick Camp is now open to bat. Cormier to face Rose, benching Crowley here in the 15th. After 14, no runs, no hits, no errors. Red Sox and Reds tied at 2. 18 combined hits in 28 innings. Remember to play Goodnight Vienna on your smart speaker. Peter Edward 1 for 4. He has singled and walked twice. Got him. Cormier got him on a 2-2 fastball. 1 out. For Johnny Bench, Johnny 0 for 5 with an RBI. He has struck out twice. There's a line drive, left field. O'Leary will pick it up. Bench going for 2. He's out. Second time today, the Reds have tried to stretch a single into a double, and the Red Sox have made them pay. It was Rose in the first and Bench in the 15th. 2 out for Crowley, who's going to have to bat. He's 0 for 1. The Tom Gorman curveball that Rick Camp hit out at like 4:10 in the morning was one of the worst curveballs ever. I wonder if John Sterling ever did eat a hat. No, that was Bench. This has been a really good game. Crowley stays into center field. Lewis, after 14 and a half. No runs, a hit, no errors. Reds 2, Red Sox 2. Valentin, Lewis, Offerman. McEnany in for his second inning. We have reached almost as long as we did for Game 1 of the 88 series, which was won on a sac fly by the backup catcher. Valentin 2 for 5. He has singled twice and grounded into a double play. They're running out of beer. Oh, my God. Fenway cuts it off in the 7th. They had no one's had a beer in a couple hours. Base hit left field. Ron Darling has a good story about the Tom Gorman start versus the Phillies when they lost 25-6. I bet Darling said more than aw shucks about that one. Darren Lewis 1 for 5. Oh, you know what? We're going to bunt. Rose and Crowley are playing for it. Lewis will oblige. Bunt is down. McEnany has it. Concepcion for 1. Lewis will reach. Faster runner is the winning runner, but he's still on first for Offerman, who is 0 for 4. He has walked twice, grounded into a double play, and struck out. Even Harry Carey'd be sober at this point, Paul. Throw to first. Lewis is back. An hour and a half. Just a one spot today. And Offerman walks. The winning run is on scoring position. Hit and run for Merlone. Oh. Yeah, why not? Merlone has singled. Nomar, who was 0 for 6 on deck. We still hitting and running here? I like it. Even Neil Diamond refuses to stay for the end of this. No, don't do it. Okay. 24-10. Was that the Blue Jays versus the Argos versus the Colts? All right, we will not hit and run. Merlone will, and Bench and McEnany have a word. Struck him out, 2 out for Nomar. Nomar is 0 for 6. Nope, he's not. But Nomar might. Lewis has a jetpack on. Offerman pulls up the Adirondack chair. Oh, the 10-home run game. I remember that. 2-2 the score. 2 out, bottom of the 15th. Pitch to Nomar. Base hit, right center. Lewis is around third. Good night. Drive home safely. The Red Sox walk it off. Hamm's the beer refreshing, and Nomar goes to the land of sky blue waters. 4 hours and 31 fake minutes. Oh my word. 99 Nomar was gone. So the Red Sox, 3 runs, 13 hits in 3 hours. They left on 8. The Reds, 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors, and they left on 11. Nomar won the ball game. I don't know who you go with an MVP. The Reds bullpen went 8 2/3 of 1-run ball. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And the Red Sox didn't give up an earned run to what many consider one of the greatest offenses of all time. There really isn't an MVP. I mean, it was a hell of a baseball game. Pedro should have walked him. Ha ha ha. Yep, the Red Sox bullpen does a tremendous job. Who you want to see tomorrow? Somebody pick 2 teams. And we'll do it. 50 innings of 2 unearned runs. Carl Everett for not being there yet. That's a good one. Yeah, I think the Red Sox pitchers get the MVP. We'll share that. 15 innings of no earned runs with that offense. That was incredible. I can do that. Boulder Johnson versus Sandy Koufax. So there you go. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow for some dead ball baseball. So long, everybody.